Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this princess dart top with double keyhole neckline. If this is what you're interested in, keep watching, like, share, subscribe. Thank you. So I started with drafting my basic upper bodies. I'm going to alter this pattern to get our princess dart and to make it a blouse as well. So I'm going to start with the front. I'm going to start by tightening the under bust part. So I tightened it with half inch on one side and 1.5 on the other side. So I just use my ruler to connect it like this. If you want a detailed tutorial on how to tighten the under bust, please let me know on the comment section. So I used my pattern master to curve the lines, and then I'll use the straight part of this pattern master to draw a straight line towards the armhole, and on that point I'm going to take that my armhole dart, and I took that of 1.5 inch, and then I drew a second line and extended the line. So whatever I took from that place, whatever that intake I took from there, I'm just going to replace it back and reconnect it back to the armhole like this. So that's it, and I just went ahead to blend in the apex points there so that we don't have sharp points. So I marked my waist to my hip line because that's how I usually like to do my top, my waist to my hip line, and I marked it out there and extended the line. I put my hip measurement divided by 4 and I marked it plus my sewing allowance of 1.5 inch or 2 inches depending on what you want to use as your sewing allowance. So I just added the sewing allowance and then I connected the lines back to the waist point. So that's it. I'll go ahead as well to extend my dart line to the hip point. So I'm just putting my nipple to nipple measurements divided by 2, and I'll just extend the dart line and then extend the dart leg as well. Connect it like this. Just watch how I connect my dart leg. See, I started from the under bust to connect it to that point. Don't worry, it's not going to affect your measurements. Your sewing allowance will make up for the remaining one. So this is how I do it, and then I'll go ahead and mark my top length. This is where I will now mark the top length I want, and I think my top length is 22.5, and I'm just going to mark it out and make a straight line. So that's my top length. So at the side I went up by 1.5 inch, and at the center front I came down by 1.5 inch because I wanted to have this kind of curve, this curvy effect, and I connected the lines like this. So this is it, and then I made the sewing allowance part straight. So this is how I connected it with my free hand like this, and this is it. So I'm done with the front. I'll come back to the neckline, but I'm done for now. Let's do the back. So for the back as well, I already have my basic back block, so I'm just imputing my dart. I didn't impute it before, so I'm imputing my dart. I divided my nipple to nipple into 2 and placed it on that place, and then I'm taking 1/2 inch on both sides, which is 1 inch altogether for the darts. I already added this on my own sewing allowance. So I'm taking my waist to hip back length. The back length and the front length are not equal because of the side that we have in the front. So I'm placing my hip measurement divided by 4 on the hip line for the back, and then I'll connect the lines. So I'm going to also extend my dart leg. I'll extend it the same way I did to the front. Extend it and extend the dart legs like this. So this is it. Then for the back, I'm just going to draw a straight line towards the armhole and blend it in. There's no other tightening I'm doing at the back, so that's it. And then measuring the length of my top from the waistline. From the waistline in front, I just measured how long it is from the waistline to the hem of the top. So I measured it, I think it's 6.5, and then I placed it there. Because the front and the back is not equal, the difference is around 1.5 inch. Yes, for my side. So that's it. So I'm just doing the same thing I did for the front. Came up by the side 1.5, and then at the center back I did 1.5 as well. I raised it at the side by 1.5 and came down at the center back by 1.5. Just watch and you will understand what I'm doing. So that's it for this pattern. And okay, I think I've not done the neckline, so let's work on the neckline. It's just basically extending my neck width. I extended my neck width by 2 inches, and then I connected it back to the original neck depth I have done, which was 3 inches. So I just extended my neck width. I will do the same thing to the back neck width. I will extend it also by 2 inches. Extend it like so by 2 inches. So I'll connect it. Initially I made this top, the back, I wanted to have like a V back neckline, but while I was cutting the fabric I decided to change it. I didn't use this V neckline again. So but this is how to make it if you want a V neckline. But when I was cutting my fabric I decided to do a normal neckline. I didn't do the V neckline again. So this is all for the drafts. This is the front and the back. I'll just go ahead and cut out the patterns and go ahead also to cut it out on fabric. So this is it. I'm done cutting. This is the front. I added 1/2 inch for joining them at the sides, and this is the back. I also did the same thing, add my sewing allowances on the sides and all around it. So I'll go ahead and join these pieces, the front and the back, and then I'll bring it back to show you guys. So this is my lining as well. I cut my lining the same way I did with the fabric. So I'm just going to also join the lining and bring it and show you. So this is my front. I have joined it and I pressed my seams. Please make sure you always press your seam. It gives a neat finishing. Then I went ahead to do this lower part design. I just thought to just add some little flair to it. So I just did cut out this pattern on it. Just cut this thing. I don't know. And that's my lining. I'll go ahead and turn the neckline. I'll turn the lower part as well and the sides. So this is my back. Yes, this is my back. I've also joined it and pressed open the seam, and this is the other side of the back. So I also place my lining. I've joined it to I will place the lining on it and turn the neckline and the waist part. So I'll go ahead and turn them and then bring it back. So this is it. I've joined the back. I went ahead to add my zipper. I just joined it like this so that it will be easier for me. I've turned them down and the sides, and this is my front. I've also turned the neckline, the lower part and the sides as well, but the armhole part is open. So I'll go ahead now and join the shoulder, just the shoulder. I will not join the side yet. I will join the shoulders and come back, and then we'll do the keyhole effects. So this is my paper. I want to mark out the design I want on my neckline. You can do any design of your choice, any pattern of your choice, but this is what I want to place on that part of the neckline. This is just it. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. I'll cut it out. I just cut out it. Just make it small. If you make it bigger, it's going to be very big on that your neckline. So just draw something not very big, something small. I'll go ahead and cut it out. I was supposed to add half inch around this before cutting it out, but I just went ahead to cut it out. I'll come back again and add the half inch on paper again. So I just cut out this one first. Just follow the process. It's very easy. Follow the process. So I just want two. In case you want more, you can add more to it, or you just want one, you can do one, but I want two. I want mine to be two. So this is how I want it to be. It might not be that close, but this is what I want. So I brought back my paper, and then I had to add half inch around it. I pinned it down, and then I added half inch around it, just all around it like this, all around it. Okay, so I'll now place it on my fabric and cut it out. Now while cutting on my fabric again, I'm going to add half inch all around it again. When I place it on my fabric to cut, I'll add another half inch all around it. So this is just a guide so that I'll be able to turn it properly. So just follow the steps. They are just easy steps. So I'm done cutting them out now. I get my fabric, and then I'll pin it down and add half inch around it again. So this is it. Half inch all around everywhere. So I'll then go ahead to my sewing machine and fold the first half inch to the second half inch, which is the paper. The fabric half inch, now I'll fold it and join it to the paper half inch, not to the initial oval shape that I marked. I'll just sew it down, and I'll bring it closer to the camera so that you see what I mean. So this is it. I'm just going to place it and sew it, yes, like this on this paper, on the first half inch I did. I'll just go around and stitch it down. So this is it. I've stitched it down all around. So I'll go ahead and trim out the excess around it. Just trim it off so I can see my red stuff. So I have trimmed it out so that I can see my red marker. I've trimmed it out around, and see, I'll just go ahead like this and place it on the spot where I want it, on the neckline part where I want it to be. I'll pin it down, and then I'll stitch my red marker. That's parts where I marked with my red marker. I'll go ahead and stitch it down all round. So I'll go to my sewing machine now and show you how I do it. So let's go to the sewing machine. So I've pinned it down and I want to just go around and stitch it. So I'm using the red marker as my guide to stitch round it. So this is it. I'm done stitching it. I'm done stitching it at the back. You can see the stitches at the back, and this is it. So I'll remove my pin and then I'll cut the center open. Then I'll trim it out around, but I'll be leaving less than half inch. I'll just trim it out around, trim out some of the fabric out, but I'll be leaving less than half inch from where I sewed, where my thread passed. So I'll just go ahead, trim it out, and then I'll notch around it. Just be careful so I don't cut out your lines, you don't cut out your sewn thread. So I'll go ahead and notch. So this is it on my own top. So I've sewn it and I've trimmed it out, so I'm just notching around it, notching all around. So when I'm done notching, I'll flip it to the back like this, and then I'll go ahead and use my hemming gum to press it down. I'll use my hemming gum to hold it down, iron it down, and give it that nice press. If you don't notch properly, the circle will not come out fine. So notch very fine and then go ahead and use hemming gum to hold it down. So this is it. I have used my hemming gum to hem it down and it's looking all fine and set. See, it's looking all fine and neat. See it. So I'll go ahead and do my second hole. So this is it. I've done my second hole the same way I did the first one. Just place it on it wherever you want it and then go ahead and do it the same way. So see, I've done it. And then the next thing is just to close my sides. I've fixed my sleeves already. I just fixed my sleeves and then I'll just go ahead and close the sides with the sewing allowance I added. I'll just go ahead and close my sides, and that's all for this tutorial. So this is how it looks on me when I was done. If this tutorial was helpful, like, share, comment, subscribe. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.